Goldylocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I'm Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman, and this evening I'm really excited because I have a special guest. And so I will be bringing Reverend Bryan Rawls on in a few moments. Just want to open the show up like we normally do. And I encourage everyone to please like, share, and comment. All right, right below while we're live on Facebook here. Please you can like the video, like the page, the Goldylocks Productions page, share the show. And really grateful for those that share and comment. This is very interactive. You can ask Reverend Bryan Rawls and myself a question later on, or you can even share your experiences about what we're going to talk about. All right. So you can call in too, but we have more fun if you are watching us live and commenting, because we share the comments on the screen too, and it's a lot of fun, especially those that share. So we like to do that. And again, welcome everyone. And I'm going to start the show off like I normally do. I'm going to give the crystal message of the week, and then the Spirit Power Animal message, and the DNA activation card, and then introduce Reverend Bryan Rawls, and we'll bring him on. Okay, so it's going to be lots of fun tonight. It really will be. All right, so make sure you have your drink ready, your popcorn, and watch the show. It'll be fun. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I'm sharing the video everywhere too right now on other pages, so that we can get more people to tune in and to watch and join in, because it's a party over here. The spiritual party going on. But thank you everyone for joining in and for sitting in Sacred Circle with us this evening. Whether you're watching the show live or you're going to watch in the archive, a space has already been created for you. And so everyone that's sitting in Sacred Circle with us this evening is going to receive, get and receive healings. It's just a very beautiful and very powerful exchange. All right. So, hello, Tammy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hi, Tammy. Many blessings to you, dears. Love to you and the family. All right, so starting off with the crystal message for the week, all right, is carnelian. And I will put that in the chat as well. So the crystal for the week is carnelian. And really, I really did emphasize this in August, like with the Lion's Gate, this particular crystal, but it came back up when I was asking for the message for it. The crystal and gemstone and carnelian came up again. And when I read the qualities, you really understand why it is such a powerful gemstone to have in your collection. It really is. And so, thank you, Tammy. The family sends their love to you. Thank you, dear. All right. So the crystal for the week is carnelian, and it does look kind of like an orange, copper type orange type of coloring. And it's the stone of compassion, and it helps to protect you from negativity and feelings such as anger, jealousy, and fear. Any of these types of feelings that throws you off balance, and we're all going through it. And this is a very powerful time of healing, and healing means that we have to deal with any unresolved issues that we have held within us. And so as it comes out, we're noticing, I thought it took care of this. Yes, chunk of it. but we still have these shards that of whatever situations or whatever feelings we have, and we must deal with it whole and complete, all right, in order to sincerely let it go and to heal it, all right? Okay, so the next message comes from the spirit power animal and of the week, and I was really I was like, ooh, wow. Now, those of you who are scared of snakes, I'm sorry. Don't be. But it was the green tree python. And Google this, type in green tree python. It's a very beautiful snake. It's, wow, the coloring is just beautiful. And know that, again, those that are scared, it's only on the screen and it's not going to hurt you, okay? So the green tree python, the message that the green tree python has for us this week is that it's goddess energy to help us to balance each other out, or to balance ourselves out. And yes, of course, as we balance ourselves out, it is contagious, isn't it? And we help others. All right. And also it helps primal power. Primal, going all the way back to our divinity, our divine power. It's a connection to the energy of the trees as well. I call them the tree beings, the tree people. And using height as an advantage, because it can climb. It's a tree, right? It's called the green tree python, so it climbs up the tree. And it's the same kind of concept, like I think I've mentioned before, where you fly higher than your situation, remove yourself from it, get that bird's eye view, or that green python, that beautiful green tree python high in the tree. Get that perspective looking down on it. You see the whole picture. All right, you really do. So use that height as the advantage. And what I mean by that is we're just going to take ourselves out of the situation, go higher, and look at it. And because we see things we miss when it's so close and up front and personal, right? And it's also being adaptive, adaptation to your environment. We are very adaptive to our environment. We should be also not only adapting, but we should be very harmonious with our environment, very harmonious with nature. So we really should be doing, all right? And so, again, I encourage everyone to share, like, and to comment in the comments, of course, on Facebook underneath the show, underneath the video. Yay! And I'll put that too on there. And how's everybody been feeling? Let us know what's going on with you. And I can't wait to bring Reverend Bryan Rawls on, and I will in just one moment. I will introduce him and then be happy to bring him on. And he's going to explain what light language is. And so it's going to be really awesome. And I'm sure all of us, the symbolisms and everything. We'll get into that in a few moments. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Thanks for sharing. Yay! I'm going to put you up there. Yay! Thanks, sweetie. All right. That's awesome. All right. So Reverend Bryan Rawls is a certified psychic medium, and he has a lot of certifications. He's a Fairyologist, a realm reader. Of course, he's a divine, a universal channel, a light language channel. He's a certified Angelic Communicator and Facilitator, light code and star key code activator, certified Reiki master teacher. He's a very powerful multi-dimensional healer. And of course, he has with him, he's following that inner Gypsy magic that's in his bloodline and his DNA, and the old ways, Absolutely. It's in his bloodline. It's in his family. And he's been on a lot of high-volume hotlines as a psychic medium. And he's just, it just don't feel like sometimes psychic medium just does justice, or the multidimensional healer. He just really is all around a very high vibrational person that I am so proud to have a part of my life. So I am going to bring Reverend Bryan on TV and radio right now. So welcome, Bryan.
Hello, Tiffany, and how are you doing? And thank you for having me on Spiritual Insight Show. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, thank you. I'm just really excited for you to be here with me this evening. And so what a great concept. You know, hey, maybe I should be on your show. Yes, Bryan, you should be on my show.
Yes.
And so,
yes. The perfect timing. Especially the beginning of October. Yes, and the first 3 days are monumental because we have so many transits, and we have the full moon coming up on the 5th. So, yeah, a lot of very high energy days, a lot of stargates opening up during the month of October, as well as the veil being thin. So lots of different types of energies that we are going to be mingling with, especially this month and in this season. So thank you, Linda.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
But yes, very high power days. Very high power days. So just one recommendation I can say for everybody during the month of October, especially the first 3 days. The first 3 days of October, the first, second, and third day with the particular transits that astrologically speaking that we are in, it's going to be around home, health, and work. So those particular areas you will see either kind of like energy kind of like I should say falling off the mountain and then climbing back up that mountain, so to speak, energy. And the one spiritual technique that I continue to use to this day, and it's the basic spiritual technique for everyone, and that is grounding. Ground, people. You cannot stay grounded enough. And for those that are airheads like myself, I definitely keep a black tourmaline on me, or even a black pneumite, or anything, or even a black stilbite. Stilbenite is a very good grounding stone, and it's a family with the kyanite, so a very good grounding stone.
Mhm. Oh yes, and it's great. I mean, for space cadets like ourselves, you know, I think it's probably why I love the color, or the absence of whatever. I just love wearing black all the time because I feel very grounded, whether it's black or brown, or just reminds me of the dirt. And it helps me to keep my earth boots on and to dig my feet down into the soil and just root in, because we can take off so easy, especially now. But here's the thing is that Mother Earth, all right, Earth is a living being, and she's ascending to 5D. She's already, she's ahead of us. And we, in order to stay here with her, we have to follow pretty much. We have to take that 5D and higher path. And so that kind of movement, for the first time in thousands and thousands of years, it's very easy for us to feel very flighty and very like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
Yes, so for those that wear black, it's actually very good, because the black actually enhances your psychic gifts because it holds the color of the rainbow. All the colors of the rainbow are within black. and it holds all spectrum of light. So it enhances. That's the reason why you see a lot of hairdressers wear black aprons over themselves, or you see a lot of folks that go on stage, they wear black because they are pulling in the vibrations of being charismatic and whatnot. So yeah, black is a very, very grounding color, but at the same time, it's a very soothing color as well. I just find black something that should be, black should always be in the wardrobe because it looks good with everything.
I totally agree. Yes, absolutely. And I heard too that's why the ministers wear black, is because they're trying to incorporate and include everybody, right? And so, yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, that's good. It's not, not so bad like people think, not all dark is bad and not all light is good.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? That is one statement that is pure truth. There is a lot of dark that is good and a lot of light that is bad. And we just have to trust ourselves and learn to go with discernment that at this moment. There's a lot of discernment that is needed within our world today.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. All right. So before I ask Reverend Bryan Rawls a question or two, please feel free now. You're watching live on Facebook on the Goldylocks Productions page or anywhere else that we've shared it. Go ahead and put a comment. In the comments, you can ask a question. You can share with us. We would just really love that kind of feedback and interaction. All right? And so if you have called in, we will take a couple of callers from the switchboard, but we really would like for you, if you have the ability to get to a computer or you can look at Facebook and watch the show from there, we really encourage that kind of feedback as to watching us via Facebook and make some comments in the comments. All right? So thank you, everyone. And so let's talk a little bit about the light language. It's not something new. It's not a new agey type of something that's very ancient. And I have seen people, and thinking, I didn't know at the time, it was like 6 years ago, I was at some kind of Paracon, some kind of paranormal convention. And the man had all sorts of different symbolisms on his arm, tattoos. And I love tattoos, looking at them. It just was like, oh, wow. So he came to a booth, and I was helping someone run the booth. And I made a comment. I was like, that's interesting symbolism on your arm. What does it mean? And he goes, I don't know. He goes, I saw it in a vision and in a dream repeatedly. I wrote it down and got it tattooed so I'd never forget. He goes, one day I'll figure it out. And it wasn't until Bryan here who got me into the light language, and I don't speak it for whatever reason, and I think I have an idea why, but I won't allow myself to voice it, to speak it, but I can sit down and I can write it. I'll write pages of light language. Now I understand what that symbolism was, that he saw the ancient language in his sleep or in his visions. And so that's really amazing. It's like, wow.
Yes,
so,
and it's funny that you mentioned about tattoos, because I actually have recently been featured in a book about tattoos, and it's called Conscious Ink, and it's by a famous astrologer named Lisa Beretta, and I am featured in Chapter 4, and about how I use my tattoos, like that one and that one, to connect into spiritual realms. So, and there's many other books that are that she has written, such as like the book Transformation and the Street Smart Psychic Guide to Getting a Good Reading. And Shelley Hoffberg is actually featured in that. So yes, it's a very good book, and it just came out. So get your copy.
I'm writing that down now because I definitely do. I do have the first book that he's talking about. Let me see if I have it here. No, I thought I had it right here beside me. But anyway, the book that Shelley Hoffberg is featured in, yeah, most definitely. And Shelley Hoffberg is part of the Goldylocks Productions team family. So her show's on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the Psychic Horizon show. So
and yes, in fact, Lisa Beretta will also be on my show featuring this book here very soon as well. So stay tuned for that. And she will actually have copies for sale that we could possibly get to where there may be a special discount for all the folks that mention the show. So look forward to that. But yes, the light language with the symbols, and you mentioning that you script light language, and a lot of us have had lifetimes as either record keepers or scribes or seers or sages. And what happens with the light language that I channel comes from my Romanian background, and also comes from my Cherokee background as well. All the females on my father's side they're like full-blooded Cherokee, and they all speak spirit tongue, or speak in tongues, basically. And I just so happen to pick it up, and I started speaking it in my sleep. So it activates that strange time, very strange time, and around strange atmospheres and around strange situations. And like I said, I started speaking my light language when I was asleep. And my husband would always wake me up and be like, "What's going on with you? You're speaking like some strange shit." I'm like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, I have no clue. I just had a session with a light language speaker, and I don't know if she kind of rubbed off on me. But so I done some research, and found that my father's mother spoke in tongues. So I was like, okay. And plus, here recently, probably about 6, maybe 8 months ago, my guide started to tell me that my light language was going to start getting primal, and start getting more earthly type spirits that channel through me, to speak their ancient languages, because don't only think that these languages come from the stars. These languages come from other dimensions, other galaxies, other dimensional portals, stargates. I mean, they come from a variety of places. And with mine, I speak my native tongue, and then I speak another 175 dialects of intergalactic languages. And those would be like Byronian, Lyran, Syrian, Andromedan, Pavillas, Telosian, and the list goes on and on. But these dialects, they actually get downloaded within us by it's almost similar to it's almost similar to an activation or similar to a Reiki attunement, and you actually feel or actually see the symbols start to come down and get downloaded into your crown chakra, and they'll float down into your root chakra and start stacking up. And then as they stack up, they get sequenced. And as they get sequenced, they get put in order in our DNA. And so it's basically a very interesting subject, but a subject that has to be thoroughly explained so that a person can get it. And my light language, what my light language does, because with different folks, some folks light language activates, with some folks light language releases, with some folks light language only works with the physical body, with some folks it only works with the emotional body, and then some folks it only works with the spiritual body. So it all depends on what frequency and vibration that you are working at for the light language to interject its capacity to heal, free up, or activate that linear situation, frequency, or code within our DNA. Does that make sense?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And isn't it kind of like, what's that called? Is that the Sophie frequencies, where each frequency is dealing with, just like what you're saying, it takes care of what you need at that time, and as you keep ascending, it's a different, and so
yes.
it's very.
Audio frequency.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was like, I'm going to butcher it. What is it called? Yes, thank you. Right. And so I was listening to some of those frequencies earlier today, and it's like,
a lot with cymatics. Which works with a lot with cymatics, and you'll be surprised what a drum will do to interject energy to the body, what a rattle will do, what a bell will do, and even what a plain coffee can with a couple of beans in it will do. I mean, back in the day, a lot of folks didn't have material to have all these fancy instruments, and they had to improvise and make do. So I have a little rattle that my grandmother made out of a gourd, and it's somewhere around here, but it's a cute little rattle. But she painted it, and I have used that in my work and probably I first started. A lot of the tools can be blessed with light language, and I even bless my mojo bags with light language. Light language is so universal and so, I guess you would say it's just my go-to thing. It's my go-to when nothing else works.
Oh, I understand that. Now, so for some people may be thinking this too. Those who maybe were brought up in churches, so maybe those that were speaking tongues who were actually speaking light language. Would you agree?
Yes, I most definitely will agree with that. And folks don't necessarily have to call it light language, that still do call it speaking in tongues, because universally it's the same thing. Okay, and we as humans, we use labels to make things sound special. Okay, and with us using labels to make things sound special, I think that's a little bit egotistical, so I just I say I speak the language of light because that's what I see actually coming out of my mouth when I'm speaking it. It's light.
Yeah. Oh, and I posted just a few moments ago, Tammy, her husband speaks in tongues too. Yes, I know Tammy's husband, Luis, is very, oh, wow, yeah. Luis is very high vibrational, and, yeah. All of you are your family. But, yeah. So it's not surprising at all, Tammy, when you say that. So, yeah, they're a great, great family. And so, so the light language, and it's interesting, it's like the light language is interwoven with music, and all of that is in our DNA, our divine DNA. It takes you right back to, it's like you were saying, you play a drum. It instantly is like so soothing. It's almost like you're back in that womb soothing. I mean, it's very primal, but it's like that. We get it, reset almost, like, wait a minute, take a moment, and it's like, wow, this is very deep healing. Yeah.
I actually have an activation called Connecting to the Primal Mother, and it's basically connecting you back to your first mother, the mother that develops your soul, which I guess that would be obviously Mother Earth. So, would you like to hear the Primal Mother activation?
Oh, yes, please. I think that's very much needed right now.
Okay, perfect. So, basically, a little bit with the Primal Mother activation, what this does is this activates a nurturing type of aspect to your energy field. It basically allows for, that how it feels when your mama hugs you. That feeling of warmth, that feeling of need, that feeling of actually, hey, someone cares about me, someone needs me, someone depends on me. That is going to be the energy that you're going to be feeling. Okay, so just take a deep breath in it and listen to my voice.
Demore estomaco ores, dendo urite, kendo opun, prende qua castando ureste che anda isteto uranta. E gonna che ata il moco uran, demoko unas, prende wanda isture ata il mocura. Assume che assai, rende quando una che stampure assai in quadro o conosce. E na tantina cure e tampo o unas. Prende toto uran, e wanda hide apura okum, e nakite ene otura ataro, jampara ais, e wando urata sin. Demburo unde bakana inde sande hele warambo kunaste sendi hele kurando ores prende che andarune himala histe sando okum tranda hirme che ando okum rajanda hele waro okum.
And deep breath in.
Ooh. Wow. That's
okay,
beautiful.
It kind of like you had divine parents come in there because it sounded like you had a really motherly figure and then a fatherly figure, and almost like the merge of the divine feminine and the divine masculine merging into that primal activation.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what it's about. That's what the balancing is about. We have every living being has masculine and feminine energies. And when we were brought up to be, don't cry, don't show weakness, what essentially were we told to do is to deny the feminine part of ourselves and to show us off balance, you know? So and that's what we're coming back to now with bringing, yeah. And that's what we're doing now is coming back to
spiritual.
Yes. And every culture has, whether it's the Kundalini energy, balancing the snakes that go up your spine, you know, and it's all in our culture, you know. And it's interesting that you gave this type of activation because most definitely we all come from different systems. We're all star seeds planted on this earth plane a very long time ago. But in order to be born, now remember, if we say we're star seeds, think about a seed. How does the seed grow? With Mother Earth's help, right? With the womb, with her womb, we were birthed. And we came from light, and we have these earth bodies. We don't have these bodies off the earth plane. It's to survive. We truly are her children. And so it's important more than ever to understand that and to embrace that and try to just be more connected to nature, more connected to the Mother Earth. And oh my goodness, how do we do that? You may think it's just, you know what? Be more conscious of outside, as far as if you're out and about and you see litter, pick it up. I mean, I have extra bags with me and I carry gloves with me, you know, and just pick something up. If it's recyclable, you know, that's great. But just let's take care of your space, and then even when you're out and about in your community. And just going out every morning, just saying good morning. Yeah. Not sitting there and, well, basically, I do have to mention this because I think it's something that needs to be mentioned. Mother Earth is trying to purge right now, okay? She has been trying to purge with all these storms and all these natural disasters, and everybody's trying to divert them natural disasters. Stop, people. You're doing more damage than good. You are pissing her off and making her more mean. It's very interesting you say that, because wow, thank you. See, the guys are like, we need to talk about this too, because there's just going to be more of it, all right? There's just going to be more of these natural disasters, and it's happening. Check. Now, you have to check the news. There's weather websites to go to, and you can check all the time. Something's going on in every country. Now, when you pray that the highest and greatest for everyone happens. There's going to be those that have to leave.
Pray for protection. Don't necessarily sit there and pray for the path to be diverted.
Right. Don't try to divert this. Don't try to stop it. Just say, let the highest and greatest happen for everyone. And if people have to cross over, help them. Give them that energy to help them. And when you think of a hurricane has an eye. Wow. An eye. Think of the eye of Ra, the eye of Horus, the all-seeing eye, whatever you want to call it. It's a living being. I've communicated with Irma. I sat down in meditation and talked to Irma. She has a mission.
Yeah, she did have a mission. When I connected with her and asked her if I could divert her, if I could sit there and change her path, she was like, no, leave me the hell alone. Let me do my thing. These people ask for change, people are going to receive change. Because you got to also look at it. If you look at it from a Yorubian pantheon view, you got Mother Oya. Mother Oya is the Orisha of storms and the Orisha of change and transformation. All right? Mother Oya, she controls the weather. And the weather, like the breeze, the winds that change. If it's windy out, I set my Oya statue outside, and I would just let her get her breeze on. And, I mean, the best thing about it is all these folks all around the world have asked for change for I don't know how long, and then when they receive the winds of change, they're like, what the hell? I'm scared, I'm frightened, I'm shaking in my boots. No, you ask for it, you're going to get it. And you may get it with a little bit of icing put on the cake with it, or you may get it with just cake, no icing. I mean, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
What I did as the hurricanes were close to me was I laid protection for my family and my folks. I didn't try to divert her path or whatnot. I let her do her thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's all. It is just to hold the space. And when I ask, well, what can I do? And that's what they say, hold the space. Let me tell you, there used to be a time when we could command the weather. This is in control is what man tries to do. There's instruments that try to control the weather. I know we've all heard about it. I'm not going to talk about it and give energy to that right now. But the higher than control is command. And it's love, responding to love. Anything from nature is pure love, and it responds to love. And that's what Bryan and I were doing when we were communicating with the hurricanes. It's most definitely love responding to love, having that conversation. And we have asked for change. And the change is coming, but maybe not in, what did you expect, just to wake up one morning and, oh, look, the grass is greener, the birds just sound so much happier, everything is perfect now. No, things have to purge first. The 3D is still a part of this world, but it is imploding. And how is that an implosion? How is it going to clean? How is it going to purge? Here we go. So this is the time, people. You've got to choose what you seriously want. Do you want to continue on with the 5D path, or you want to stay stuck in 3D? If there's no more goofing off, this is the time.
It's almost like this. I was sitting on my Florida room porch today, and I was looking at this Confederate rose bush that we just uprooted in the middle of summer, and I kept her in a small little jug or a small little bucket with hardly any soil on her, and then I put her in the ground like 2 days after that, and now here 3-4 weeks later, I mean, all her leaves fell off. She turned all ick and gray and all that, and then here 3-4 weeks later, she's sitting there with like 6, maybe 12 leaves on her. I mean, look at the way that Mother Earth changes and grows so quickly. And knowing that if, say, for instance, the hurricane blew us to hell and blew us to smithereens, the Earth would keep on going because the energy keeps on going. It's an everlasting cycle. And that everlasting cycle is something that we wrote in our chart. We chose to experience this. And we're going to experience the way Mother Earth intended us to experience it while the Earth is still spinning and rotating on her axis, because there's some pretty crazy energetic shifts that the Earth is still undergoing, and it's only 2017 people. It's only 2017, and we are just in the beginning.
You know,
just
but
in the beginning.
It's what's her name? I'm trying to think. Let me see. I got her stuff here. Diana Cooper. If anyone has ever followed Diana Cooper, I recognize her too from past life in Atlantis. And Atlantis is such a long time. You can have many, 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 many lives on Atlantis. And plus, they lived for such a long time as well. So in the Golden Age. Diana Cooper has given a date of 2032 that we are at that threshold of peace. That's our lifetime, people, right here, 2032, and it's 2017 now. So yes, we're at the beginning. It's you know, and we're going to get to that, and we can actually make it happen faster by how we respond to everything that's happening. So instead of trying to pray for please don't happen, because it has to happen, the purge has to happen in one way, shape, or form. All right? Just ask that, and it's not being selfish. If you would like to stay safe, hold that sacred space for let me tell you, ever since the solar eclipse, Bryan, I mean, I have candles burning all day long. I am lighting incense much more than I ever did before, and I'm being to go to the altar and hold space. Just do it now. And it's more and more than ever before. That's what you can do, is just send the love out to anyone that needs it, and it is received.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, since the solar eclipse, there have been days where they're like, nope, you're going to sit at your computer and you're going to work all day. And then there has been days where, nope, you're not going to get out of bed. You're going to be in pain all day, and you're going to receive this download like I told you were going to receive it. And I'm like, okay. And then there are days when you're like hyper as hell, and you want to do this, do that, and not. And I'm like, oh my God, can I catch a break? Yeah. My guys have gotten have gotten so demanding, but at the same time, they have allowed for more information to come through about the upcoming month, because I think the first 10 months of 2000, or the first 9 months of 2017 was crazy and hellacious and just downright dirty. Wait until the last 2 months or the last 3 months of 2017. The last 3 months of 2017, there's big change in the air. A lot of you're going to see more and more folks more and more folks' charts that are getting ready to be up, and they're getting ready to pass to the other side. There's going to be more natural disasters, and I've been I don't know if you've ever had an experience like this before, but I've been having water dreams. I've been having water dreams about a bay or something flooding, or a tsunami, or a big wave of some sort. And I'm like, okay, so I don't live but near the East Coast. The tsunami is not one of our things. All right. So, yeah, I mean, there has been, with the energy nowadays, if someone would come up to me and tell me some crazy dream that they've had, I would not put it past them, not one bit, because this energy is making everything very strange, very mysterious, and scarily accurate. And many prophetic books, as well as also many prophetic people have also spoke about this. So yeah, people do your research.
Have you ever seen the maps by Gordon Michael Scallion?
No.
Have you ever seen Gordon Michael Scallion? I first saw his maps, I think, in the late 80s, early 90s. He drew what the world's going to look like after what she's going through now. But we concentrated on the United States. And at that time, it was Florida was going to sink. The East Coast a lot of the East Coast was going to be taken back, into the ocean. And California was going to be sunk. Then he's recently, there's been some revised maps. Now, I have to tell you, every time, if you find them, copy them, people, because they're taken down off the web. It's like, if you're so intimidated by this man's maps, why do they keep disappearing? Is there some truth to this or what? But people in California actually have saved all California from sinking. All right? They could still have some issues. All right? Even like on the East Coast, it's gotten better, but it's still going to kind of like, be crowded in. The water is going to take some of the land back. And like the biggest change is that the Mississippi is going to really flood and divide the United States. I mean, it's going to look like, and so these are just what some of his maps, again, Gordon Michael Scallion, and it's not to make anyone fearful at all. It's just kind of curious as to what did the old seers used to, I used to read Nostradamus's quatrains or whatever they were called. I read his stuff, and Edgar Casey, and they all seem to say very similar things. And it's not okay. Some people say, "Oh, well, this is the end." Well, of course, it's the end of one way and the beginning of a new way. Like Bryan was saying, you want to change, something has to end in order to begin. And we don't really think about that ending process, do we? But we constantly are rebirthing every day. And how does nature show us that? Because they give us night and a new day, constantly.
Exactly. And us human beings, we're not done nothing, but we're bound by time. And time is what keeps us in with structure. But I wish and have wished so hard for time to be gone, because it would be so much more less, well, I don't know about chaotic. I don't know how the chaos would work, because that would be kind of chaotic. But that's one thing I cannot do. I cannot wear a watch. My body will short out a watch.
I can't either. I haven't been able to wear a watch since my early 20s. Well, I never really wanted to wear a watch because I felt like I was a slave to the time. But when I did put one on, I'd stop them. I will break a watch in a heartbeat. It stops. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But
all my batteries will stop.
Yeah, as we are ascending, we're moving out of that time. The time.
Yeah.
And most of we're feeling it now. Go into meditation and come back. And it's like, what? We have to readjust the time all over again. It's really hard, so we're feeling it already. We already are feeling it. So what do you do? Do you stop a watch too?
I stop a watch. Battery. The watch hand will actually pick up speed and will increase time, and will sit there and spin and spin and spin really quick. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with me? I'm like, no. So that scared me enough, so I have never used a watch before. I've always had to carry around a little notebook and a little pad and a planner to keep my appointment dates. But have you also seen that the clouds have also been strange, and that is new grid templates being downloaded into our atmosphere?
Yes, I was going to the shop Saturday, and it's everything I could do to stay concentrating on driving on the road, because I was looking at the clouds and got, wow, look at how different they look. I was like, oh, no, thanks. It was, yes, I did notice. Very, very interesting. I was like, the skyline's changing. I mean, we've already known that the sun doesn't come up in the same spot anymore like it used to. For years, the sun's coming up in different places. And I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually sitting on the front porch today, and I was looking up at the sky, and the sky had this kind of like checkered in one of my friends' pictures, and then also on Facebook, and then also up in my in like real time and outside, there was little holes in the clouds, and I was like, well, what is that? And I heard them say that's new divine templates being downloaded. So yeah, I think that's very very interesting things about to go on for us that we need to pay very close attention to. We need to pay very close attention to. We need to pay very close attention to our surroundings, and also we need to pay attention to the way our bodies are feeling as well, because our bodies are being downloaded with new templates as well. And I have been experiencing a big solar plexus upgrade, and solar plexus sacral chakra upgrade. So those digestive issues are a pain. So make sure you break out that CBD oil and break out that ginger. It all works wonders.
Absolutely, it does. And I just wanted to say, hello, Diana. I see some people making comments. Your emojis aren't going to show up on here, but hi, Diana.
Hello,
nice
Diana.
to see you. I haven't talked to you in a bit, so I hope everything's all well with you. And so the time has just gone by so fast I can't even believe it. We don't even pay attention to it.
I know. Like 2 minutes to 9. I can't believe it.
So it's thank you, everyone, and sorry if there is any kind of sound issue or echo. It's I'll fix it later in editing when I take this to editing. But it's this is what happens when you get Reverend Bryan, Rawls, and myself together. The energies are going to just wreak havoc on any technical devices. So, and you can find that with a lot of spiritual shows, and people, their energies are sometimes just too much for these, what we think is advanced technology. Not really. Nothing's more advanced than the higher vibrations, okay? So anyway, all right. Well, let me give go ahead and give out. I'm going to put your website up. Tell everyone how they can reach you, please, and put your website up here as well.
All right, so everyone, you can reach me for a more in-depth reading at www.amagicaljourney.com. That is AMAGICKALJOURNEY.com. You can also go to my blog at www.bryanrawls.com. You can check out my Facebook at Bryan Rawls-Dolder, and you can call my office at 586-659-9620. I do have specials running for the month of October, so please check out that. They are posted on the blog, and if anyone is interested, I do have openings this week for readings that have become available by chance. So please check that out. And thank you, Tiffany White Sage Woman, for having me on your wonderful show. And I look forward to being on the show again.
Oh, thank you so much, Judy. It's always an honor and it's so much fun, too, to have a show with you and just for energies to play together. And, of course, everyone, you can find me, whitesagewoman.com, so much. And please contact Reverend Bryan Rawls and myself. Let us know how you enjoyed this show. And if you have any other topics that you would like on any of our shows, just let us know. Reverend Bryan Rawls' show, A Magical Journey, is on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can watch him live right here on the Goldylocks Productions page as well. So thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Good night, everyone.